So today, we're playing a Berserker, and we are going all out with a girl-powered Busted Blade run. We're using a skill, Guard Power, to boost our Regen and Empower as well, while our Busted Blade is ready to take down our opponents in just 2 or 3 hits. Or maybe 4, if we're not lucky. But hey, check it out, and let me know what you think of it. Okay, let's go and jump some unranked games with a random character and see what we're going to get today. So it looks like we're playing a Berserker. We do start off with the utility pouch, and we do start off with a freaking spear. I'm going to be grabbing a piggy bank also because that is literally going to be free monies. I might actually end up grabbing a Swallow's Tusk too. Just for a little bit of max life, a little bit of spikes, so we deal a little bit more damage. And this is going to be round 1. Now with our spear, we did put our topaz in it, so it attacks a little bit faster even though it's going to be slowed down with the utility pouch. So it means we should get a big power from the utility pouch and gain increased, well actually still going to be decreased in speed, but a little less decrease in speed. And smashing actually. Just pausing the video here very quickly just to ask you to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. Now that's a flame badge, but I'm going to stick to Berserker's items for now. I'm going to grab this whetstone for now. I'm going to roll once. Twice even. I'm going to end up grabbing this ladder bag. Now I'm going to actually reserve its customer card, but I'm going to have to move on. Now we didn't actually really get any stronger, to be quite honest. We end up just grabbing a bit of storage, to be quite honest, which is not super great. This spear can only carry us so far, although it's doing a pretty good job at it actually. Our opponent did survive till a 7-second mark, getting one of every buff, which is actually going to win out that fight for him. Because that power, that vampirism, even that regen, just a little bit too much unfortunately. Now leaf badge is extremely tempting because that's going to be crit chance. Now I know I did say I wanted to focus on the Berserker's items, but that's a freaking leaf badge, which I'm going to take. However, we're going to be crafting up a Shepherd's Crook right now, which is going to be awesome. We're actually going to take the leaf badge, I know. And I'm also going to be taking the customer card. But let's keep moving for now. Crit chance is just too tempting on something like the Berserker, to be quite honest. Because it means we can go for the anvil and just get tons and tons and tons of damage for free. And basically add a crit chance to it, which makes all that damage doubled. And so far this is actually looking pretty good. Our opponent also has that Shepherd's Crook, which we'll explain right now after we craft up our own. But anyway, it's going to be awesome. We've got our Shepherd's Crook, which any weapon placed inside is going to get +2 damage. And 25% chance to protect your buffs from being removed, and 25% chance to resist blind and cold. Now we do have a choice to make, and we got all brand new skills, and we get to choose between 4. Now, Just Stats is going to be an awesome one because it's literally just a general skill, which is what I was looking for when skills first came out. It means that if we miss one of the hyper-specific ones that doesn't suit our builds, we can just fall back to this one, which just gives us 15% max health and 20% base stamina regeneration, which is just generally nice, in my opinion. Now we do get a choice. We're probably going to be taking one of these brand new ones down below, which we got Torn Burst. Every 10 seconds, stun for 0.5 seconds, and gain 3 spikes, up to 3 times. And triggers 5% faster for each spike. Honestly, this to me seems kind of not great. Every 10 seconds, stun for 0.5 seconds. It's basically you have to scale up a bunch of spikes to actually make value this, which you don't really want to do for dagger build. Now it might be nice with a Blood Torn, or even a Flame type build, but we're not going to be taking that. Now Guard Power, I think this one is straight up nuts. I think this one is really overtuned right now. Every 3 seconds gain 2 regen arm power, depending on which you have less of. And it also triggers 20% faster for each distinct class item, which is nuts. And we also got a super fun, unique skill. The star item triggers 20% faster and 10% for each unique item. Customer card or platinum customer card, which is awesome. Now we do have our own platinum customer card. We do have our own customer card. But Guard Power is going to be a play right now. So I'm going to be taking it. We're going to be grabbing even more storage. We're going to be slotting this down below. We're going to be grabbing our customer card. I'm going to roll. And that's a freaking axe, which is a class specific item. Which means I'm going to sell a spear. I'm going to be grabbing our axe. And I do actually want to grab this gloves too. Anyways, we're going to move on with the setup for now. And this should be pretty smashing. So with Guard Power, we should be able to stack up a lot of regen, a lot of empower, And that should actually be smashing. Now it is going to be quite slow. Right now actually. It's taking its time to actually stack up that empower. With 4 regen, can we actually survive? Unfortunately, it's not looking like so. Now since we did get boots on sale for 3, I'm going to take it. We're going to be grabbing our gloves. We could craft up claws of attack. But I much prefer increasing the speed of our axe altogether. I'm also going to grab this fanny pack also, increasing speed even more. We're going to roll once. I'm going to roll again. Okay, we are 150,000% going to go bust the blade for sure. But we'll see. So far, we are going to begin a hammer, stone armor, pyromancer, which is going to be quite scary because we're going to have tons and tons of block. After entering battle rage, but we'll see. We're slowly breaking through the armor. Our DPS on our axe is 10 right now compared to our opponent's DPS of 5, which is actually going to be awesome for us. And this is going to be scaling up every hit, which is not too bad. And so far, actually looking pretty good overall for us. And we've also stacked up a lot of power, a lot of regen, and actually smashing. And also, we got our dragon skin boots, which is another class specific item. We're going to be selling you to grab this instantly. We're going to be crafting up that buster blade. Now, I actually want to grab blueberries and a prismatic orb also, which is going to be a little bit strange, especially for Impartial Large Greatsword. But I'm still going to take it. We're going to be crafting up that buster blade, which should be smashing for us. Our opponent is rocking a frying pan with a bunch of garlics. They do have that just that skill. But this Impartial Large Greatsword with garlic power is going to be awesome. It means we should be able to stack up that empower, which eventually will make it trigger super fast and just end up smashing our opponents. Awesome. But then we got our big busted blade. And we're going to be taking our prismatic orb. And we're going to be taking our blueberries. But we're also going to be taking this fanny pack also. I'm going to sell our piggy bank. I'm going to roll once. That's another pair of gloves, which I'm going to grab. But let's keep moving for now. So now we have 2 class specific items, increasing the speed of guard power, which should be pretty good. However, we are going to begin Pyromancer with one of the new weapons called Katana. But our busted blade is still being busted as ever. Now Katana is a brand new weapon which is crafted up using the Ripsaw blade, and a whetstone. Now the Katana has the effect on hits to remove 1 damage gained in battle from all opponents' weapons and also gain 1 damage. Your opponent has at least 20 buffs to remove 2 of the type they have most of, which actually sounds kind of awesome for sure. Now the reason why I was taking a prismatic orb and a blueberries is because I do actually want to go for Shaman type builds, which does give us crit chance with the Hawk Rune and crit damage, which is going to be awesome. We're going to be grabbing the stamina sack and we're going to be taking a pair of gloves for now also. But then I'm going to move on once again. And with guard power now, we should be able to stack up a small bit more in power. It's actually still saying 3 seconds, which is might actually be bugged, to be quite honest, because it should be faster, and unfortunately we're going to end up losing. So it seems like it might be bugged actually. But hey, we're going to be grabbing this potion belts. We're going to be grabbing more max life, which should be awesome for us. We could grab another pair of gloves, but I'm going to roll, and we definitely need that acorn collar for sure. But for now, I'm going to moving on once again. Now this is back down to 1.88 seconds, which is actually quite significant compared to that 3 seconds. Basically 2 times the value that we're getting this round. Our opponent is rocking an anvil with katana, which actually looks kind of awesome, but that busted blade is still going to be crazy good. Now unfortunately we didn't get any of the brand new skills, so we'll probably end up taking the round 10. We're probably going to be falling back on the round 10 general skill, which is max life and your weapons deal 5% damage, which is going to be insane because 5% damage of busted blade is going to be quite big. Now none of these other skills have changed since they came out, so we're just going to be taking this. We're going to be grabbing our crit chance. We're going to roll once. We're going to be grabbing more storage. We could grab a hard container if we want to. It's a lot of golds, so I think we're going to skip it. Now Jin's lamp on the sell for 6 is crazy not to take, because we're going to be using up a lot of luck, which means our crit chance is going to actually decrease every time we use up our Shaman mask. So Jin's lamp is going to help keep scaling up our crit chance. Especially with our Hawk runes, we want that crits because that's going to be dealing a hell of a lot of damage. And actually, we ran out of stamina there, which is less than ideal. But that's a 354 crit with that Busted Blade, which is straight up nuts for sure. Let's grab our Jin's Lamp, and we probably actually want to grab this setup for right now, because that's going to be a lot of luck stacking. We're going to roll, and all I want to do is find Hawk runes. So I'm just going to move on once again. Now this should be super, super awesome. Especially with the Elephant Rune, especially with our more stats. We should have tons and tons of max life. But the problem is our opponent is going to have tons and tons of healing. But that's a 255 crit. We ended up with a 50% crit chance, and we got extremely lucky there. But awesome. And we could grab that Heroic Potion, which I'm thinking we're going to. We're going to roll once. Twice even. That's a second Busted Blade. We could take 2. But I don't think we want to. We're going to be grabbing this fanny pack for now. Also increasing the speed of that Busted Blade as much as we can. We're going to roll one more time. We did move our setup around, so we actually get a little bit more mana from the very beginning, which should be awesome. It just means that any blueberries that we do get just take a little less to stack up that mana. It starts stacking up that crit chance first. Now it is going to take a lot more mana to actually start stacking up that crit chance, but awesome all the same. Now, speaking of awesome, that's a freaking Badger Rune, which we're going to take, but I think we're actually going to take this Prismatic Orb first of all. We're going to reserve our Badger Rune for now. Actually, we could sell this and a customer card, and we can actually grab it right now and increase the speed of that Busted Blade even more. But let's keep moving for now. And we should be able to start off with that 10 mana. So it means anytime our blueberries does proc, we should be able to start stacking up that luck. Increasing our crit chance overall, and even helping our Shaman Mask. And smashing actually. Busted Blade still being busted as ever. And we're actually getting extremely lucky with our crits, which is awesome. But then let's keep it going for now, and that is a freaking Mana Orb. But I'm not going to take it. However, we'll actually grab this for now. We could grab this Bloody Amulet, which I'm thinking about actually doing, because that is going to increase the base speed of our Busted Blade. I'm going to keep rolling. Unfortunately, we did get an Elephant Rune, which is less than ideal. But we're still going to take it, to be quite honest. And I'm going to move on. The Elephant Rune is going to give us 40 more max HP, which is awesome. We do start off with 380, which is a lot of max HP. However, we are going to be getting Doom Cap Prismatic Sword, which means they're going to be decreasing our accuracy, even though we're stacking up a bit of luck. And unfortunately, we could end up falling short. And yeah, that's exactly what happened there. Super, super close, but we end up still falling short. Now, my Neki Neku could be kind of interesting, because that will actually increase the speed of our Busted Blade even more. But I'm going to leave it as we roll for now. We could end up grabbing this Prismatic Orb, which I'm going to grab. I'm going to move straight on. Now, Prismatic Orbs are a little less than necessary, to be quite honest, but just be starting off with a bunch of buffs, bunch of mana, so we actually just keep scaling up our luck. Giving us accuracy, giving us crit chance, so our Busted Blade can deal massive, massive damage. And that's a 240 crit. And right now, awesome actually, that was crazy damage. We have a 92% crit chance, which is smashing overall. I'm going to start off by grabbing the potion belts. I'm going to roll. Let's keep going. And that's another Badger Rune, which is not the one I was looking for, but we'll take it. And smashing. Actually, the Hawk Rune is crazy, crazy good, because that's going to be a 40 or 15% increased critical damage and crit chance. So we do start off with 58%, which should be overall smashing. And with 2 Badger Runes in, it means our Busted Blade is going to be attacking faster and faster. But actually, that was a 400 crit from our Busted Blade, which is straight up nuts. And we actually have 110 DPS right now, which is straight up nuts. As for heals, we have a 40 healing per second. And honestly, it's only when we get into that battle rage and we hit with that Busted Blade. But hey, this is definitely looking awesome. Now, cheese on sale, I will actually grab for now. I'm going to keep rolling. I'm going to grab a Lucky Clover as we move. And let's keep going. And there we go. Actually, that's extremely awesome for us. Roll one more time. And let's keep moving. We should pretty much have a extremely high crit chance with our Busted Blade. 87% chance. And it's going to be increased quite significantly. That's a 265 crit. And we just have to hit one more time. Actually, 2 more times, I was lying. And unfortunately, we do end up falling short because it is still super slow. Especially if our opponent is inflicting colds, which is why I kept our Shepherd's Crook for now. Now, I don't think we actually want more Vampirism, so we're going to roll and we're actually just going to grab our Acorn Collar. It's a little bit overkill, but it means we're going to have a 100% crit chance from the very beginning. We're going to be grabbing a Badger Rune, and we're probably going to take this Elephant Rune also. Which means I'm going to be selling this, and let's take this, because that is going to be an extra 40 max life, which should be smashing overall. And this is it. This is going to be a fun setup. And what a fun builds. Busted Blade with a bunch of runes, with a bunch of prismatic orbs, actually turned out to be awesome. And honestly, the guard power to be providing a lot of empower, so our Busted Blade can deal a crazy amount of damage, which is awesome. With more stats giving us a ton of max life and increasing our damage overall by 5%. So it's not too bad. But let's see, can we win it? I'm going to slow this one down. We are going to begin a Nocturnal Locklifter with the Blood Manipulation, which means we're going to have tons and tons of healing, which might actually be a bit of a problem. Now we do end up with 182 crit, which is not as strong as I thought it was going to be. That's a 271 crit. A 300 crit. It's looking super close. One more hit and smashing actually. That Busted Blade dealing crazy damage by the end of it. For sure. We end up with 114 DPS overall. And honestly, from the guard power, just providing that empower from our Busted Blade, along with a Prismatic Orb. But hey, Busted Blade is still awesome as ever, and crit chance on Busted Blade with the Hawk Runes, it's just straight up crazy damage. And actually, with the more stats, with our Elephant Runes, we actually got a crazy amount of life. We pretty much had 200 max life from the very beginning, which is kind of awesome. Now, our healing was a little bit on the low side, but our opponent did have a lot of healing reduction, so that's exactly why. We didn't exactly need all the healing when we're smashing with that Busted Blade. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here for now. I just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. See you next time.